Pero meron ding mainit na issue na lumalabas ngayon na bakit hindi na lang daw habeas corpus ang inyong sinampa instead of the TRO?
Well, simple. In a, what you call this, petition for habeas corpus, no? Klaro ko lang kasi may mga kaibigan din tayo, no? Na ginagalang natin elders in the profession. In a petition for habeas corpus, there is a person who is deprived of his liberty against his will.
Yes.
So, you file this petition in court, you produce the body. Yun yung ang meaning yan. Ang sa amin kasing palagay, I hope our elders in the profession would understand. Simple question. Who will be the illegal custodian? Who deprived him of his liberty? Isn't it a fact that it was Senator Bato himself who went to the Senate? Alam nga naman gawain naming respondent doon, yung Senado. Hindi naman po pwede na i-respondent namin yung NBI. Ang NBI nga yung gustong pumasok. Kung i-file namin yun, it will be given, no? It will be treated by the NBI as a license. Oh, nag-file kayo ng petition for habeas corpus and ginawa nyo kaming respondent. I have the obligation now to arrest you so that we can present you in court. Kasi ang illegal custodian will be ordered by the court to present the body in court. Para kaming kukuha ng bato, ipatok sa aming ulo at bigyan ng lisensya yung NBI na dakpin siya para ma-present siya sa korte.
Pero Atty. Torion, ito muna, bago tayo pumunta doon sa part na yun. Hindi ba ibig sabihin ng tao na nagsabing habeas corpus na yun is pinipigilan siyang lumabas? So,
Deprivation of liberty nga.
yun, oo.
Hindi rin kasi it has always been the stand of the Senate that he is always free to leave. Because there is no local warrant of arrest. And that he is free since there is no local warrant of arrest that has been issued. So he can enjoy his Bill of Rights. The foreign warrant of arrest has not been validated here in court. There is no judge which issued a local court. So he's a free man. That is the stand of the Senate. So therefore, technically when he was in the Senate, from the point of view of the Senate, at least the majority thereof, there is no deprivation of liberty. Pwede pa siguro petition for issuance of writ of amparo. Pero that's another matter.
Mahabang usapan, mahabang usapan yan.
So, ibig sabihin, when you, pag kayo ng habeas, ibig sabihin, kailangan ipresenta nung
illegal custodian. Oo, yun. Na sa korte. Paano natin sinong i-respondent ko? Ang Senado.
Isingit ko lang to Ang ibig sabihin kasi po ng habeas corpus is show me the body. Latin yan for show me the body. May apat na elemento yan, kailangan natin pag-usapan. Merong deprivation of liberty, sinabi niya na. Illegal yung deprivation ng liberty. Entitled to relief yung dinideprive ng liberty. At fourth, ito yung pinaka-importante, yung respondent has custody of the person deprived of liberty. Sabihin mo nang meron yung tatlo na yan, assuming arguendo. Sino po ang may custody kay Bato? Okay, to answer your point, may interesting kang point na sinabi kanina na yung mga tao sa labas, kunyari NBI o police, na pinipigilan siyang lumabas, yun ang nagde-deprive ng liberty. My question to our respected friends, does that constitute custody? Ang tingin ba ng korte doon, kung meron mang mga tao pumipigil sa labas, is that considered custody? Parang hindi. It's more of a threat of enforced disappearance. Mas doon ako. Parang may nagte-threaten kay Bato na baka mawala na lang siyang bigla. At yung threat of enforced disappearance, yan po ang nagfo-fall under writ of amparo. Which is why that is more, in my opinion, more of a possibility kaysa po sa habeas corpus.
Pero sa habeas pa, hindi ba pwedeng utusan ng korte ang NBI? Pagkahuli nyo, ibigay nyo sa amin.
Yun
Pakita
nga.
nyo.
Yun nga, pero meron bang isa sa inyo na gusto yun?
Which is delikado yun.
Delikado yun kasi magiging lisensya na yun ng NBI o nag-file kayo ng habeas corpus I am required to produce the body in court. So therefore, you should not prevent me from arresting him, from getting him in person so I can present him in court.
Di ba nga ang argument namin is that the ICC warrant is not enough as of a legal basis para po dakipin si Bato. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin. Pag nag-habeas corpus kami, baka i-construe yan ng court na, o yan, meron na kaming basis to have custody of Bato.
So contradicting yun doon sa pinaka-main na final ninyo.
Sa aming pananaw.
Of course, meron silang kanilang pananaw. Mas matanda sila sa atin eh. Ang medyo ayaw ko lang, klaruhin ko lang, yung pati kliyente ko sinasabihan na yung abogado ay mali. Siguro naman, at least konting respeto lang.
Okay lang yun, brother.
Yun lang, konting
Sanay
Ano ba
respeto.
dapat attorney ginawa doon? Tinawagan ka muna?
Hindi naman. I-discuss siguro namin
Professionally.
muna. Professionally. And if he has certain... Ako naman nakikinig ako, especially to my elder profession. But just because I am respectful does not mean that I am a wimp. So I would like also to send a message to my elders that if you feel that you have differences with my opinions, you tell me. And let us discuss it. Do not announce it to third persons that I am wrong. Tell it to me and in a very polite manner because I respect you and I expect the same respect.
And besides, kayo pinagkatiwalaan ni Bato.
Pero allow me to put a parang middle ground argument here. Totoo na si Atty. Torion has been so respectful at ang haba po ng pasensya. Gusto kong i-stretch yung aking utak. Unawain kung bakit sila naggaganyan. No? Feeling ko yung passion talaga nila for Bato, yung fear nila na mawala si Bato, siguro natitake over na rin sila ng emotions nila. Ang request namin syempre is siguro more communication with us rather than communication with third persons. Rest assured, we listen to them. We revere them. No? So, we do not claim to be better. It's just that right now, ito po ay bigay ng sa amin po lumapit itong tao na ito at that's God's will.
Hindi kaya dahil dito sa pag-deny ng TRO, kaya ngayon, siguro, tama yung sinabi mo, frustration na kay Bato, syempre, na nagtatago ngayon si Bato, ganyan-ganyan, at ngayon, naglabas na ng manhunt operation dito. Maybe siguro isa yun sa mga frustration.
Yes,
Kasi-
but this is my point, no? The worst thing that we can do as allies of Bato is to turn against each other, to turn on each other. Kasi nga po, iisa po yung purpose nating lahat, bukas naman ang linya natin sa isa't isa, at alam naman natin na ang lahat po ng makinarya ng gobyerno, I will bravely say this, alam naman natin lahat ng makinarya ng gobyerno, armamento ay nakatutok sa mga Duterte.
Posible pang magamit siya ng kabilang kampo di ba?
Correct. So, divide and rule, divide and conquer should not work on us. So, I think communication in any kind of relationship from personal to professional should be valued.
Ito lang how I respect my elders. No? Right after we received the comment of the Solicitor General, in our humble law firm, kasi we have a system. I have adopted that system a long time ago. If we handle cases, I give it to my most trusted lawyer, Attorney Resi Rizada, and we have a system already. I give out the what is my view on the matter, how it should be presented, okay? And then I give an outline, and then I communicate it to my assistant dean, my resident manager in the office. And then, meron akong mga lawyers na, let's say, dito, 8. So, yung mga sub-arguments, iba-ibang lawyers yan. But there is a need to harmonize everything. And then, that's where Resi would come in, Jimmy would come in, and finally, me. Okay? So, if there are comments, right after that, 3 o'clock in the morning, meron na kaming comment. Bakit ganun kabilis? Kasi meron kaming sistema. Pero instead of submitting it right away, I sent it to our elder lawyers. Give us your comments. Ang sabi ng isang elder lawyer, ang haba naman, 156 pages. Grabe. Boss, basahin mo muna. Para makita namin yung specific na mga comments ninyo. So we can also see na kung saan kami nagkamali. We need your comments. Basta Litan niyo yan bago ko basahin. So, nilitan namin. 112 pages. Tapos, grabe, mahaba pa rin ko, boss. I could no longer, I feel na after reviewing it, ito na. Sige. Naghintay kami ng komento. Wala. Pero sinambit ko na, naging 117. And that, not only one elder lawyer, other elder lawyers also, I give out my, because I need their comments. I do not claim to be ultra highly intelligent. I'm also a human being with my own limitations, and I respect their opinions on the matter. But please, treat me also as a human being entitled to respect, because we are all professionals here. And as a matter of fact, meron din kaming iniingatan din ng dignidad. Kaya nga sinasabi ko palagi, I am respectful, but I am also a Muslim. I may be patient, pero dahan-dahan din.
Pero
Ganun lang.
siguro pandagdag, partner, no? Sana po malaman din nila na pati po sila, ang mga pinapayo nila sa amin, iba-iba. No, so baka po akala nila, it's them against us. Hindi po. Kuminsan, pati yung payo ni A sa amin ay iba kay
Magkaiba.
B, iba kay C. So it really puts us in a very difficult situation. And siguro as they are very experienced people, not just lawyers, siguro naman maintindihan nila that we cannot take everything that they say hook, line, and sinker. That said, we respect them and we await their kind counsel.
Let's move on to that, yung issue ng pinastop yung TRO. At now, ito na yung manhunt. Do you think...
Labeled as fugitive na
labeled as fugitive. Do you think nasa tama ba yung timing o hindi pa dapat inantay muna nila yung Monday bago nila in-issue to? At bakit kaya sila nagmamadali?
Actually, blessing in disguise yan, boss. And bakit blessing in disguise yan? It shows now and it proves the government's double-speak policy, which is akin to perfidy in international law. No? What is perfidy? Well, the concept of perfidy presents only in a war situation. Kunyari, kalaban ka. Pero I am applying it by analogy. Kunyari, sa kalaban, gera kayo, naggaganyan ka ng white flag, gusto mo makipag-usap. Yan ang mga peace talk mo. Ayan din ang ginagawa nila noon. We have no intention to arrest him. We will only arrest him if he will go out of the country. So, they made the people believe that such really is the policy. Right? But, what they are doing actually, ang NBI nandun na, morning pa lang nandun na, okay? Iba yung sinasabi, iba yung gustong gawain. What is that? Double-speak policy. Now, naglabas lang ng TRO, wala pang ang order, lumabas na ang totoong kilay nila. Hindi kulay, kilay. Kasi yung kilay nila pala talaga, ito na. Dakpin talaga nila si Senator Bato without going through the local courts. Ito, iba kasi ang aming, hope the people will understand that we are an independent country. We have our own sovereignty. And as such, we have our own 1987 Constitution. Na natin yung jurisdiction kasi principal argument namin, wala nang jurisdiction yung ICC. But granting for the sake of argument na may jurisdiction yan, recognition of a warrant of arrest, foreign warrant of arrest, is different from enforcement of a warrant of arrest. When you enforce a warrant of arrest, coming off from a foreign country, you could not treat it as self-executing kasi may batas din tayo. Okay? You have to pass through the local courts because under Article 59, okay, hindi namin na-accept yung Rome Statute, under Section 1, in accordance with national law, ang pagdakip ng cooperation mechanism ng ICC. So, hindi po pwede, nagdakpin mo lang siya parang manok. Yan ang ginasasabi mo. At ginasabi ko always, at dalahin mo doon sa Netherlands without passing through our local courts. Kaya nga, sinasabi namin, sabi nila, may due process naman. Anong due process? Don't they know that the ICC follows the inquisitorial method of investigation? What is that? Secret. How can we know ano yung kinakaso sa amin? Is secret nga. Bato has never been accorded due process. It will only be the very first time here in our country that he will be accorded due process. Kaya nga, kailangan na dumaan sa ating korte.
Partner, linawin lang natin yun na yung inquisitorial
At accusatorial.
saka accusatorial. Kasi tinuturo po sa law school yan. Ang sistema natin, accusatorial. I accuse you, sumagot ka, magtalo tayo sa piskal, pagpalagay ko may probable cause, kasuhan kita. That's accusatorial. Yun ang demokrasya natin. Ang inquisitorial, sikreto, one way, parang ex parte, no? I suppose.
Ex parte.
Ex parte, no? Na mag-imbestiga sila, which is what they did. They admitted na secret yung proceedings nila. Sa kanila legal yun. Sa atin hindi. So if they say na we afforded Bato due process kasi nag-imbestiga kami, iba po yung meaning ng imbestiga sa kanila kasi one way. Dito two way.
Pero ang binabangga kasi nila doon sa Article 59 ng Rome Statute, yung RA 9851 sa Section 17.
Okay, magandang
Kasi
usapan
bakit
yan.
daw
Magandang
natin
usapan
sinusunod
yan.
yung Rome Statute, wala na nga tayo doon. So, ito sa 9851 ng RA is sa Section 17, pwede isuko nandun.
Hindi. Ganito kasi yan, sir.
Mm.
Release namin yan when RA 87, RA 9851 was passed in Congress in 2009. And we found out that in February and in March of 2009, there was a deliberation. Marami yung iba-ibang senador, but let's fast track. During the deliberation of Senator Ligarda as well as Senator Gordon, there was a question, how would we implement surrender mechanism? Would RA 9851 be enough? According to Senator Gordon, no, that's not enough. Okay? There has to be a law that would provide more teeth to the provisions of surrender. So meaning, it is not self-executing. And I will prove you why. Because Sections 17 states of two mechanisms. Surrender or extradition. Extradition, we have a law, PD 1069. As to how to, law is not enough. There must be rules of procedure. There is a rule of procedure promulgated by the Supreme Court. Alam natin kung saan i-file, RTC. Alam natin kung sino ang mag-file, DFA through DOJ. Alam natin yan. That is provided in a rules. Sa surrender, meron ba? Wala. Why? Because we did not, according to the deliberations in the Senate, we did not copy Part 9 of the Rome Statute, which is the cooperation mechanisms. So therefore, the cooperation mechanisms of surrender under the Rome Statute, hindi natin kinopya. It is up for us to provide the procedural mechanism, pero hindi natin ginawa. All constitutional democracies, be it Italy, United Kingdom, France, Belgium, all provided their own procedural mechanism as to how to implement surrender. We are the only most unique country which would allow our own national to be surrendered right away without going through courts. Their jurisprudence, we have. In Italy, for instance, El Masri, the El Masri Nassim case, he was a Libyan in 2002, arrested via an ICC warrant. What did Italy do? Even if he was a Libyan, Italy entertained his petition, deliberated upon it, and it was found out that his rights were not respected. He was released, but eventually deported to Libya. Ivory Coast, dalawa lang ha, because there are 21 other cases. Dalawa lang, Ivory Coast, the Simon Gbagbo case. Also, there was a foreign warrant of arrest. What did Ivory Coast? They insisted, the Ivory Coast courts gave him his day in court and decided, we will not surrender it to the ICC. Did ICC protest? No, because in their own rules of procedure, in their own statute, they will respect the national choice.
Pero there's an counter-argument of a lawyer. Sabi niya, yung surrender is already the procedure. Kasi wala na daw parang, kaya nakalagay naman na daw dun, surrender. So definitely surrender.
Ito, kasaysayan na lang. Kasaysayan. Madalas po, di ba, may treaty, may tratado sa global community. Yung parang nagkakasundo sila na, ayaw na natin sa war crimes, ha? Parang ganyan, no? And then, yung mga bansa, after, gagawa ng batas para isakatuparan yung gusto ng treaty. Okay, yun po yung karaniwan. Baliktad ang nangyari dito ha. Ang nangyari dito, nung 2010, nauna yung 9851. Wala pa tayo sa treaty, hindi pa natin na-ratify. Pero aware na sila sa treaty. So, ibig sabihin, ginawa yung 9851 independently sa Rome Statute. Bakit ginawa? Kasi gusto ng Kongreso at Senado, ng Congress as a whole noon, na gawing krimen ang crimes against humanity, war crimes, aggression, genocide. No? So, naging crime na siya dito. Bakit? Kasi dati hindi. Ngayong krimen na siya dito siya lilitisin. Okay, yung sinasabi ni Atty. Torion, naglagay ba tayo doon ng surrender mechanism to the ICC? Sabi nga nila, Senator Gordon, hindi nga. Unang-una, wala pa tayo doon sa treaty. Nung time na yon. Ba't tayo gagawa ng surrender mechanism to a treaty na hindi pa natin niraratifika? Yun po yung pinaka-basic po. Sana po nakukuha ninyo yung explanation. That the sequence matters. No? Bakit nila sasabihin na pwede na yung surrender to the ICC? Eh, hindi pa nga kami ICC noon.
Sino may kasalanan at bakit wala pa yung procedural mechanism?
No, hindi siya kasalanan eh. I think it is clear legislative intent na dito litisin. Meron pong clear legislative intent. Sino ba ang may gusto ngayon na ibato si Bato sa ICC?
Yung nagpapato.
Hindi naman pero hindi naman yung legislature. At least that's not what their laws say. Their laws do not say that. It's the executive na gusto ibato si Bato.
As a matter of fact, sir, if they just read the transcript of the minutes of
basahin
the
nyo.
meeting,
Parang awa nyo na.
RA 9851 was enacted to fortify, strengthen our criminal laws such that any violation of crimes against humanity, war crimes, genocide can be tried here. That is the purpose of that law.
O isang basic ha, meron yung sinasabi namin na sa mga criminal law books, criminal law 1, yung nullum crimen, nulla
Nulla
pena
pena
sine lege. Ang ibig sabihin nun, there is no crime if there is no law criminalizing it. Ibig sabihin, banat bay, kaya ka lang makukulong pag may pinatay ka. Kasi nakalagay sa RPC na bawal ang murder tsaka homicide. Kung wala yon, hindi ka pwede ikulong. Kahit masama pa yan sa religion mo o whatever, there has to be a law that criminalizes it. At dati, ang genocide, ang crimes against humanity, etc., yung 4 na core crimes sa ICC, hindi krimen dito. Ginawang krimen dito.
Doon sa
Sa
9851.
1951.
Para i-trial dito.
Para i-try dito.
Yan ang purpose ng RA 9851.
Kaya walang surrender doon. Kasi, ang nakalagay doon, dito.
Tsaka, okay, sabi nila, surrender. Okay. Pag magdakip ka kasi ng tao, constitutionally, daan talaga yan sa korte. Because you are depriving liberty. Hindi po pwede na ang executive department lang ang mag-determine. Dictatorship yan, dictatorship yan. The Bill of Rights was specifically enshrined, no, in order to protect us from government excesses. Kaya sinasabi ko, between a leviathan of governmental power and the individual lies a shield, and that shield is the Bill of Rights. And what is my further basis? Treaty law. If you look at the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 9 thereof, in cases of arrest, we are a signatory to that in 1986. And we have to follow that. In cases of arrest in whatever jurisdiction, that person arrested has to have a judicial recourse. Not only that, Articles 8 and 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, of which we are likewise a party, mandates judicial recourse also. So our basis is not only the Rome Statute. We do not even recognize it. Our basis is the Constitution, treaty law, customary international law. Kaya nga, sa aking palagay, kung maging open lang yung mind natin at mangyayari yan sa kanila. O, yung nagsabi na the law does not distinguish. Judge daw, any judge, it contemplates a foreign judge. O, tingnan natin kung may Chinese warrant of arrest. Tapos, ikiha siya, especially yung tao na what you call this, demean kay yung leader.
Kidnapping.
Yung nag-drawing ng karton. Okay. Ipatrial natin yan. Pa-issuehan natin ang warrant of arrest doon sa China. Tapos i-implement natin dito. Sabi ninyo the probable cause can be determined by any judge. I-implement dito. Tingnan natin kung papayag ba sila. That cannot happen simply because of the fact that when you involve deprivation of liberty, that constitutionally belongs to the judiciary, and judiciary, in accordance with Ho versus People, the determination of probable cause for purposes of warrant of arrest can only be determined personally by the judge, and that power is non-delegable. Hindi pwede matransfer yan maski sino. That is likewise the case of Salazar versus Achacoso. So we likewise have jurisprudence on our side. Constitution, jurisprudence, treaty law, customary international law.
Pero itong, kasi ang medyo nagiging problema ngayon, yung batas na ginawa ng legislative branch, ini-execute ng executive branch
Yun.
na medyo sumasablay. I know, hindi ko sure kung kaya nyo sagutin to, but do you think it's about time for the Supreme Court to come in and say, this is how to interpret that law?
With utmost due respect, I refuse to do that because I am an officer of the court.
Siguro ito na lang.
Yes, sir.
You are confident na sa Monday, mag-decide ang korte in your favor.
Hindi pa. Kasi they already decided 9-6. What we are just awaiting
TRO
is
yun,
sa TRO pa lang yun. What we are awaiting on Monday would just be the written order na. So written order, we would know already the details,
Written order ng TRO is
yes,
what he
written
means.
order on the TRO issue. Yung hindi pa ito main case yung sa provisional remedy pa lang. So makikita na namin, ma-study na namin ni Jimmy, mga associates ko, yung mga rason bakit na-deny yung aming TRO.
Pero malaki palang problema natin sa bansa, no? Paano kung
Malaki.
gago talaga yung executive? Sorry pero basta. Paano kung talagang gago yung executive na magpapatupad ng batas?
Yan. Sige, let's discuss that. Kasi po, yung sinasabi ni Atty. Bobet kanina, across all constitutional democracies, ni isang bansa, wala po yung executive matik pwedeng magpa-huli
Matic. I like the word.
na matik
Executive
lang.
matic. Oh.
No? Walang ganon. Kasi kahit gaano ka makapangyarihan, basta constitutional democracy, we're not talking about the other forms of government, ha? Sa demokrasya, dadaan pa rin. Kahit si Trump ka pa na ganun kalakas, idaan mo sa korte yan. What the administration and its supporters are proposing now is a very dangerous idea, which is, bibigyan ng kapangyarihan ang executive magpatapon ng kahit sino, hindi dadaan sa judicial review. Can you imagine the consequences? And look at the absurdity. Kapag ikaw, Banat Bay, may kinasuhan ka dito, may gusto kang padampot, o kaya kahit gobyerno may gustong padampot, based on a local charge, kunyari drugs, dadaan pa sa piskal yan, di ba? May preliminary investigation, di ba? May sagutan, ifa-file sa korte, titingnan ng korte kung may second probable cause, kasi yung una sa piskal, kung may probable cause dito, under yan. Tama? Basta, mahabang proseso yan. Ang haba, di ba? Hindi ko nga ma-explain dahil masyadong maiksi ang oras natin. Pero kapag sa ICC, walang ganun. Can you imagine the absurdity of that na di ko type ng mukha nito crimes against humanity ko kaya yung pagmumukha nito.
Attorney, sabi kasi nung nag-interview sa yung Bastos, tawag dito, hindi daw kaya ng korte natin. Sabi ng DOJ,
yeah, that's a
kaya
very
pumasok
dangerous
daw tong yung ICC.
Pero bakit pag si Bong Revilla kaya nila? Oo. Bakit kapag sila Pangulo, sila Enrile dati, kaya nila? 'Di ba? Sila Jinggoy, kinasuhan nila.
That's
Bakit yun
dangerous,
kaya
ha? Yung hindi kaya daw?
Oo, yes. It is a proclamation based on nothing.
Ako rin, may na-answer na ako na, you are underestimating the intellectual capacities of Filipinos. Filipinos are known to be highly intelligent in whatever jurisdiction that they may be placed in. And as a matter of fact, when you place a Filipino abroad, they tend to shine. And their brightness is such that everyone can notice the same. So I don't think that we cannot do it. If we have the political will to do it, we can do it. It's only that our administration now has a different political will. And sad to say, maybe the political will is to extend its term and perhaps continue their reign in power. I may be mistaken, but that's how I feel.
Pero, attorney, ang akin kasi, ang iniinsulto nila, hindi lamang yung Pilipino as a whole. Para sa akin po, Supreme Court ang iniinsulto nila doon, ha? I don't know why wala pang sumisita doon, no? Kasi para na rin nilang sinabi na kayo sa Supreme Court, di nyo kaya to. That is completely untrue, una sa lahat, and it is also completely disrespectful. Lalo na, at ito, tinatrabaho nga nila, nagpa-file ang OSG ng comment, umagana naman, di ba? Nagbabalikan tayo ng sagot. O bakit hindi gagana?
Kaso ngayon, may nilabas tong NBI na, without delay daw. Ang pag-aresto kay
Again,
Senator
alam mo, if you want to just understand the big picture, yung executive, minamadali. Ito, it's very clear, may evidence yan dahil nung Lunes pa lang, yung sinabi ng NBI, aarestuhin nila si Bato. Tapos may binugbog na usaha. Bukod sa inabol si Bato, may binugbog. Tapos di umano, may mga naririnig na lumilipad di ba doon, di umano yon kasi walang reports. Pero I got that from a reliable source. Tapos may drilling na may mga locksmith doon na hindi ko alam kung
Binabantayan yung paintings.
binabantayan daw yung mga paintings, no?
Tapos nag-add na lang daw ng bolts.
Oo. Alam nyo, nakakatawa na nga. Pero the clear intent is there, nagmamadali yung executive at ayaw nilang dumaan sa judicial scrutiny. Bakit? Kasi may hindi naman foolproof, pero maganda ang sistema kasi ng korte. Doon kasi palakasan lang ng boses at ng kapangyarihan. Sa korte, hindi ganoon.
Let's go back to dun sa issue na tinanong ni paring RJ, yung sa kay Ces Drilon,
Ay,
na, hindi, diretsuin na natin. Sinasabi kasi nila, humingi siya ng backup mula kay Ed Lingao. Humingi siya ng backup na bawal daw, ibig sabihin, kailangan iserve personally. Mali daw yung sinasabi mo na
Hindi.
ibigay sa abogado. Now, what's your side?
Kasi nga, ang nangyari po sa interview niyon, I tried very hard na makasingit po doon. And until now, I try very hard to respect her kasi matagal na po siya sa industriya. Kaya po putol-putol yung sinasabi ko. Sa dami po ng mga interview na ginawa ko, sinabi ko na kung si Trillanes, binibigyan nyo ng kapangyarihan na mag-serve ng warrant, delikado yan. Di ako na lang. I've been saying that kami na lang ang magsaserve. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman ito local warrant. At it is not even a foreign warrant validated by the local courts. It is simply a questionable foreign piece of paper. Kaya ang sinasabi ko, bakit nyo isa-serve na suhulihin nyo? For the safety of my client, wag na kayo. Kung pwede rin lang si Trillanes, ako na lang. Kaso, before I could even make that slightly humorous but challenging point, naputol na ako.
Pero attorney,
Wala
nakita
nang
mo na
time.
ba?
Oo.
Nakita nyo na yung warrant? Kasi di ba,
ako hindi
hinihingi,
pa, pero-
di ba?
Actually, nakapost na sa ICC, nung unsealed na daw nila, nandun na daw.
Pero attorney, ano ba ang proseso talaga dito? Kasi may argumento din na si Senator, yung issue ni PRRD, may involvement ng Interpol. Etong kay Senator Bato de la Rosa, walang involvement ng Interpol Ano ba talaga yung proseso? Sa simpleng paliwanag, from ICC, mapupunta sa Interpol, then PCTC, then what's next?
And then after PCTC, sa aming pag-understanding na, and if it is processed already, then they can, transpose it, inform the different law enforcement agencies. Doon kasi at that time, in May 11, wala pa yung nagawa.
Oo.
Kaya nga, I would lawyer for my very good friend and my law partner. At that time, may punto talaga siya. Because in the first place, we do not have the procedural mechanism
Wala
nga
nga.
and in the Philippines as to how to serve the said warrant of arrest. Yun nga. So, kumbaga, how can it be that a private person would serve a warrant of arrest when there is no proof that he has been deputized by the ICC to serve such warrant of arrest? Has he been appointed as a sheriff? of the ICC. There is no proof of that.
Attorney, i-follow ko lang sinabi niya. Yung so pag binigay na dun sa Interpol, okay na ba yun?
Hindi, PCTC pa.
PCTC. Supposedly, ang aming argumento doon, yung PCTC, kasi nga, yung foreign divorce decree nga, pinapapasa pa natin doon sa RTC for petition for confirmation of foreign judgment. Okay? So, ang sa amin doon, it would be the job sana if there is a procedural mechanism, suggestion namin, idaan yan sa local court ng PCTC. Idaan yan kay para ipa-confirm muna, and even if we will be quarreling as to what will be the procedure. And why will be quarreling as to what will be the procedure? Kasi nga, hindi kayo nagbigay ng procedural mechanism as to how to effectuate surrender, di ba? Kung i-follow natin yung hindi namin nare-recognize under Article 59, shortened version yun. 3 questions lang yun. Is this the person who is the, the subject matter of the arrest? No? And second process, nakalimutan ko, ang third, has his rights been respected? Shortened process yun. Pero kung yung ini-insist namin that it has to be transformed into a local warrant of arrest, long process yun.
So yung PCTC is a court.
No.
No.
It is an executive agency which is tasked to handle
Transnational crimes.
transnational
So,
crimes.
from there, kailangan pa dumaan ng court.
Yes.
Sa aming
sa
version,
inyong
sa
ano.
aming
Hindi.
side.
Tsaka pati sa regulations ng ICC, nakalagay yun na kung ano man yung transnational crimes sa division nyo dyan sa bansa nyo, dadaan pa rin yan sa competent judicial authority.
In accordance nga with national laws. Kung in accordance with national laws, how do we determine probable
So sa tingin
cause
ninyo,
here?
attorney, kung gagawin ito ng gobyerno ngayon, yung proseso na sinasabi ninyo, di parang umamin na sila na mali yung ginawa nila kay Pangulong Duterte noon.
Oo.
Yun.
siguro.
Napakagandang point niyan. Kaya rin hindi sila, parang mate sila eh. Kasi pag ginawa nila, biglang mali yung kay Duterte. So
mali
void
naman
ngayon
talaga.
yun.
Sa akin palagay, mali talaga yung kay
Mali
Tatay
naman
Digong.
talaga yan.
Maling-mali talaga yung kay Tatay Digong. In whatever constitutional democracies yan, yun pa lang ang first time na ginawa yun na hindi dumaan sa korte ng local court. Kaya nag-file kami ng kidnapping
Which is
Pending
pending
ngayon
pa yan.
sa ombudsman. Oo. And I'm hoping na at least meron man lang resolution nun. Pero in fairness, ni-require naman yung kabila to answer na. Yun nga lang, nawala si Sir Boying Rimulya as one of the respondents based also on the order of the ombudsman.
So, paano tatakbo yung isa?
Ang galing, no? Ang galing talaga.
Oo nga.
Alam mo,
Natanong naman ako. Kasi nakakuhan na ako eh. Alam niyo naman, di ba?
Oo.
Pwede
Nakapusta
ka,
ako eh.
pwede ka nang
Nakapusta ka, boss?
itapon sa ICC.
Kamusta siya, attorney?
Alam nila lahat. Alam ng mga kalaban eh. Kumusta ako last year pa.
pinusta niya yung kanyang...
Magpapatuloy
ano,
daw siya.
Magpapatuloy ka.
Pag nahuli sa... Pag napunta sa ICC si Senator ako.
Delikado ka.
Delikado.
Pero ngayon, nilakatanong ko. Inuha na lang ko yung OG, yung PNP sa NBI para hulihin. Si Senator Bato. Anytime ngayon. Ang pinakatakot ko, paano kung may mangyari masama? Paano kung nakaputukan, nakapatayan?
Oo nga.
Lumaban siyempre, nalaban yun kasi alam naman natin, illegal yun.
Kidnapping siya eh.
Illegal.
That is truly the worst case
Anong
scenario.
worst case scenario nun?
Well, if that happens and something bad would arising out of that illegal course of action, then we can file appropriate cases, no? I know there will be a slim chance of us winning under this administration, but at least we will see to it that the cases will still be alive until 2028.
Pero, Tony, paano kung may nangyari masama? Both sides. Kunyari, kayo wag naman, ang Senator Bato. Paano kung...
Sana hindi.
Kung sa utos
Sana
nila na
hindi.
yun,
Oo.
naging agresibo ang pulis at nadisgrasya
Yes.
siya, anong implikasyon nun sa
Okay.
atin? Lalong-lalo na wala naman siyang kaso dito sa Pilipinas.
At this is why napaka-importante na i-lay down natin yung basis kung sino ba yung gumagawa ng illegal dito. Kung illegal yung arrest sa kanya, if it is an unlawful arrest, di tama yung self-defense ni Bato. Pero kung sabihin ng gobyerno na legal yung arrest at sabihin ng Supreme Court na legal yung arrest, eh di fugitive si Bato, resisting arrest pa, murderer pa.
Kaya alam, may presumed regularity ngayon kung anong gawin ng gobyerno, tama pa for now.
Kaya nga, I am reminded of a Latin phrase, di ba? Qui custodiet ipsos custodes. Who will police the police? Di ba? Sino ba nagpupulis dun sa police? Kaya nga, ang magiging ending talaga nito, let's face it, power dictates lawfulness. No? So, ang hope na lang natin is tumagal ito enough until our administration goes back to a level of
Sanity.
tolerable sanity.
So, kayo palang mga attorney, doon na pala kayo manunumpa sa ICC. Pag, kasi parang babaliwalain nila yung ano natin dito.
Hindi, kumukuha na nga ako ng ICC clearance, di ba? Imbis sa NBI.
Kasi meron din, may sinabi yung DOJ kahapon sa kanilang press conference na ang sino man, katulad nito, yung kay Senator Robin Padilla, kung sino man daw ang tumulong kay Bato para makatakas, mananagot sa batas. Batas saan? Dito o sa ICC? At saka meron ding isa, yung kasama mo, yung kaibigan mo, na abogado din, na sabi nga ni Banat Bay, hindi PC.
Yung pitit.
Oo, hindi PC. Sabi din niya na kailangan daw, sampahan na ng kaso sa ICC. Etong si Robin Padilla for yung pagtakas nga daw.
Okay. Bago sumagot si Atty. Torion, I'm sure he has many thoughts. Pero sana po, yung mga kababayan natin, nakikita na po. Sana po, nakikita na ninyo kung gaano ka gulo na at kung gaano ka walang batas na, walay balaod. No?
Oh, good.
Wala na talagang mangyayari sa Pilipinas kapag nangyari yan. Magkakagulo na, and that is a precursor to baka magka-civil unrest na, which we don't want, which nobody wants. Kasi kumbaga, pagdating sa point na yun, magsasakitan na tayo niyan. No? And I really don't want that to happen.
Well, what do you think is the solution?
As to the solution, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can really guide us, no? And we need more prayers because I'm afraid if I will speak out my mind, a sedition case might be filed against me or
Hindi
other
kaya
cases.
attorney, masingit ko, ang solusyon dito, magdesisyon na ang korte kasi
Malaking
may side
bagay.
kayo, may side sila. Kanya-kanya tayong side. Sino magde-decide? Hindi dapat yung korte. Ang tataka ko, bakit medyo matagal? Kasi ilang PRRD pa yung patatangay bago sila magde-decide.
Ako nasasagot, hindi sila pwedeng sumagot doon. Delikado sila. Wala, malabo.
Pero we leave it really up to the people na to respectfully call on the magistrate. No? Kasi hindi naman po masama yun. Sa totoo, kung minsan we overreact, we are overly cautious. Pero sa totoo, hindi naman po bawal manawagan sa Korte Suprema if you are being very polite.
Yung tawag
being
naman,
respectful.
di ba, attorney, na hindi kung kanino pabor. Yung tawag lang na mag-decide agad.
Oo, and many people have done that. Hindi naman sila nakasuhan. Kami lang, out of a restraint, no? Siyempre, hindi na namin gagawin yan. Pero, of course, people can do that.
Ang gusto ko lang i-add dyan, specifically with respect to the good Secretary of Justice, no? Si Secretary Vida, that there will be consequences for persons who will assist Senator Bato de la Rosa. I think what he means is probably that he will be filing violations of
Obstruction.
obstruction of justice under PD 1829.
Nung una, akala ko din, partner pero they are now claiming na hindi na sila obstruction under our laws, pero obstruction under ICC.
ICC.
Kaya nga mas lumalala. Why is that important? Kasi yung obstruction po dito, ang penalty niyan hanggang prison correctional. So 6 years. Pababa. Immune ang senador dyan. At least from arrest. No? Pwede mo kasuhan, pero after na yan didinggin, after their tenure. No? So, ibig sabihin, si Senator Padilla, hindi po yan pwedeng makulong for obstruction habang nakaupo siya. Kung 1069 ang gagamitin natin.
1869.
1869. Iba pala yung 10. Pero, pag ginamit nila yung ICC, obstruction, again, no holds barred na naman. And why do we want this? Again, it is pagmamadali.
na tayo ngayon.
Oo nga eh.
4 branches
Pero under
na.
PD 1829 kasi, sa akin is, it assumes there are 5 modalities of committing a violation under PD 1829. But all of which presupposes that you have committed a crime. Dito
Correct.
wala namang crime eh. Nasabi na nga ng aking magiting na partner, yung konsepto, nullium crimen, nullia poena sine lege. There is no crime when there is no law punishing it. What crime has a person committed when there is no crime here in our country? And if they will charge it in the ICC, ayan, iba na naman yan. Kasi nga, March 17, 2019, hindi na tayo party doon sa ICC. So how can that person commit a crime for a treaty of which we are no longer a party, and today is already 2026? So whether you charge him for a non-existing crime in the Philippines or an alleged crime in the ICC, that cannot attach to my humble mind simply because of the fact that here there is no crime and we are no longer a party. The provisions of the statute will only apply within the period of the Philippine situation, which is 2011 up to 2019. So yun po ang ating
So sinasabi ni
argument yan.
DOJ Secretary na yung obstruction na yun is obstruction from the ICC?
Hindi nila sinasabi niyan. Pero tayo na lang ang
Wala kasing
nag-supply
ano
ng interpretation in order to help the people understand.
Kasi wala namang warrant local eh.
Yung sa kanila kasi, they made it, I think, intentionally vague. So as to perhaps provide more teeth to their threat to the
As a
people.
lawyer, you can, di ba, pwede naman kayo makipag-usap sa client nyo.
Ako, ngayon, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, nung March, kailan nga ba yun?
13 ba yun?
Yung March 11
Madaling
siya
araw.
nagpakita, no?
So 14 ng madaling araw.
Tsaka, the next day, nagkausap kami, sabi ko, Boss, bakit di mo ako kinukontak? Sabi niya sa akin, mahirap kasi yan, Bet. Kaya kung i-text kita, mag-ping yan, matrace yung location ko. O kaya pala, hindi niya ako kinukontak. At saka, di ba KOJC experience natin din yan? Na yung cellphone natin ay...
Pero wala naman sumusunod-sunod sa inyo aside dun sa asawa ninyo. Joke lang po. Wala naman sumusunod sa inyo.
I refuse to comment on that because it might encourage them to do that, no? But I hope and pray na wala naman personalan ito. Trabaho lang ito sa amin. Huwag naman kami idamay.
I honestly believe wala naman, hindi naman yata physical ang threat na nakikita nila sa amin. Pero palagay ko po, sa PR, palagay ko po may konting tumatrabaho, ika nga, sa mga
Pero
pangalan namin.
Walang imposible
Okay
sa
lang.
gobyerno to. Lahat
Oo.
gagawin.
Okay.
Para lang magipit, pati abogado. Di ba?
Oo, pero ako kasi, ang lakas talaga, walang plastikan to, ang lakas ng belief ko sa pananampalataya, pare. There is a protection, no, given sa mga may good intention. So I believe that. So bahala na kung ito ending ko, hindi okay lang. Pakita ko daddy ko.
Torny Bondo. Kanina po siguro karugtong ito or talagang bahagi ito ng galaw ng gobyerno kasi sinabi ni Senator Amy Marcos kanina, mabigat itong paratang niya na magkakaroon daw ng extension ang kasalukuyang administrasyon. CONAS. And then, meron daw pangako doon sa mga kongresista para mapapirma nila doon sa impeachment ni VP Sara.
Pakipaliwanag
Noel
nga
daw,
po.
Noel.
Pakipaliwanag nga po yung CONAS sa mga kasama kong di nakakaalam.
Kasi po, sa Constitution po, naglagay dyan ng article on how to amend and revise the Constitution. Kumbaga, hindi naman yan forever eh. Pwede mo yang baguhin. May 3 paraan na nakalagay doon, di ba? Constituent Assembly, Constitutional Convention, saka People's Initiative. No? Ang pinaka-speedy yata, no, brother, is yung Constituent Assembly because it just requires yung mga mambabatas, wala na yung mga referendum, wala nang botohan, wala nang mga percent na boto sa mga tao, sila na lang pwede na nilang i-convene yan. They can sit as a constituent assembly. So they want to not just amend but revise the Constitution. No? Hindi ang amendment maliliit na pagbabago. No? Ang revision yung talagang mababago na yung Constitution as a whole. Some people think that term extensions are mere amendments. No? Pero palagay ko, hindi nila gusto mag-term extension lang. I think they want to change the form of government.
Yes.
No? Baka magka-prime minister na tayo. Which, by the way, under other circumstances, is actually a good idea. Diba? Pero in this case, yung iuupo nilang prime minister, hindi naman natin gusto. So, this will be a grand revision of the Constitution by powers who will be appointing themselves as powers with extended terms. Kawawa naman po ang inang bayan.
So, ibig sabihin, yung CONAS, yung mga mambabatas
Oo.
ang magbabago.
Yes.
Ngayon, dahil sa CONAS, mag-extend ang plano.
Kung yun ang sinasabi ni Senator
So,
Amy.
ano ang relevance ni Bato doon sa Noel na sinasabi ni Amy?
Well, ang relevance because of the high voting requirement.
Yes.
No? If they would propose a constitutional assembly, that would require a three-fourths
Three-fourths,
vote of all members of Congress.
Super majority yun.
So, there is even an ongoing debate until now as to whether or not the three-fourths vote will be sourced from the House of Representatives or the Senate. Yan. So, perhaps,
Voting
ang
jointly
kanilang,
or voting separately,
yan. Voting jointly or voting separately. Perhaps, yung kanilang theory dyan, Congress So, it should be voting. The senators should have equal votes with the congressman, no? Despite the fact that we have two houses of Congress. So, they might force that issue and propose amendments to the 1987 Constitution, revisions to the 1987 Constitution, and then later on, submit it for ratification to the public for in a plebiscite called for that purpose.
Pampasimple. That's one of the acknowledged faults or gaps in the Constitution, yung voting jointly or separately. Kasi di ba dalawang bahay? Lower house, upper. Nakalagay lang doon, 3/4 of the vote of Congress as a whole. No? Hindi nila sinabi kung 3/4 pag magkasama or 3/4 nito, 3/4 nito.
Yan.
Kasi pag 3/4 magkasama, ang hina ng kapangyarihan ng Senado dyan. Diba?
24 lang sila Ang
24
dami
lang.
ng mga congressmen.
Or pwede, which is parang seemingly more logical and more accepted by at least some of the professors I had, 3/4 ito, 3/4 dito.
Yun ang dapat. Yun ang dapat.
So sa tingin nyo, like Bato, sabi nyo nga paramihan ng labanan, di ba, sa Senate. Sa tingin niyo Bato is just the beginning ng pagbabawas ng Senado?
Hindi palagay. Hindi palagay kasi may mga threats na against Senator Bongo. Di ba?
So the threat is real. And as a matter of fact, it's no longer imagined. No? And there is even a move na yung iba rin i-include na meron pa nga suggestion i-include daw si Sara, si VP Sara kasi some advanced the view that she was privy to some information during the intervening period of 2011 to 2019. But I do hope and pray na hindi totoo yan. Pero there is that talk. So, but insofar as the Senate is concerned, kung walain mo si Senator Bato at si Senator what you call it?
Bongo. At pati si Robin na
Pati si Robin,
ng obstruction.
na naman. So meron na namang legal issue na baka gagamitin din nila. Shall we count it that the 3/4 vote? Shall we base it on the 24? Or shall we base it only on 21? Yun.
Yung quorum.
So sa 3/4 vote, saan natin ano na yun? Kukunin. Yung mga ganun na mga
maraming
wild
malabo.
theories na
So
pwede.
itong nabanggit ninyo na si VP Sara na kasama sa kakasuhan sa ICC, di ba? Actually, nabanggit na ito ng mga ilang makakaliwang congressman. So, posible kaya na after nila Bato, nila Bongo, at wala nangyari sa desisyon ng hukuman, posible kayang gamitin nila itong ICC warrant laban kay VP Sara Duterte?
Well, if you want to be to think like a criminal, there might even be an ongoing PI already similar to PI kaya nga secret di ba? Inquisitorial method, no? Baka meron na talagang nagluluto niyan, no? Astagfirullah. Sana hindi totoo yan. At saka kung sino man yung tao na yan, he will forever be, judged by history as the madman of the wild Philippines. At least in our intervening period of the Marcos administration. Because it is legally possible that somebody might have done that via ICC procedural mechanism, because precisely cases of such nature can really be started in the ICC simply because of the fact that the proceedings are secret.
Tama talaga yung sinabi ni Pangulong Duterte, no? I hate drugs.
Kaya naman, siguro, balikan ko ulit yung sinabi natin kanina. We encourage yung taong bayan na i-encourage yung Supreme Court na mag-decide forthwith. Kasi talagang, kanya-kanya na po ang nangyari. Mawawalan tayo ng batas. Baka mamaya lahat tayo may kaso sa ICC. Lahat tayo doon. O ikaw, Duterte, ICC. O Duterte, Duterte, Bongbong. Kung Duterte ka, ICC.
Ako po, I still believe in street action. Peaceful. I believe in it, and I know people have gotten tired. And that with regard to the Supreme Court, ha? Baka ma-disbar ako dyan.
Pero masama po ba? Punta na tayo dyan. Masama po ba yun? Kunwari, magrarally ang tao sa Supreme Court to ask peacefully
Well, they've
na
done it.
sumagot.
They've done it. Sila, Joey, ginawa yan, di ba? Yung group... De Vivre. And they've done... wala namang masama dyan. But of course, we cannot participate.
I hope
Petitioner kami.
I hope they understood it already.
They understood
no?
naman,
And I explained it to them. Kasi kung lawyer kami, we can never join you in your rallies in the Supreme Court, no? Because we are officers of the court, no? The court
Mga magrarally po ba? Makukontempt sila? Hindi naman.
sila kasi they're private individuals eh. So hindi sila officers of the court eh. Kami kasi officers of the court. So that would add unnecessary pressure to the court. Kaya nga ako ang official line ko na wag na kayong
Pero ang lilinawin ko lang when I was talking about street action, it was not with regard to the Supreme Court. Ang sinasabi ko is, ang problema sa generation natin ngayon, and even yung mga kaedad namin, napagod na po sa pangangalsada kasi po nakita nila na parang yung iba ginagawang negosyo, yung iba dinidifuse by maglalagay sila ng ibang grupo with a similar belief pero may konting pektos, biglang iibahin. Yung iba corruption lang ang gustong iparesign, hindi tao. 'Di ba? They have done that successfully. Pero I still have hope na ang mga tao pag napuno, organically, mga ngalsada for prayer rallies and will still petition the government for redress of grievances.
Mga sir, balikan ko lang yung CONAS kasi kung kukuha sila ng 3/4 sa Senate or yung sabi mo nga attorney, kukuha sila ng 3/4 dun sa Kamara, hindi kaya timing din yung ginagawa nilang panggigipit dun sa majority ngayon? Kasi unang-una si Ejercito, meron ng pinapabungkal na yung kaso kay Cheese Escudero, ganun din. Diba? Iniisa-isa na nila. So, ano ba yun? Parang kukuha ba sila nung sa minority? Pwede bang mangyari yun? Para mas matuloy ang gusto nilang mangyari?
All we can do is speculate. Pero alam naman natin na right now, ang mas malaking balakid sa kanila is the Senate. Kasi yung House, napatunayan na nilang hawak nila di ba? And again, opinion ko lang to, wag naman kayo magalit kasi grabe na nga ginawa nyo sa amin. Ako, opinion na nga lang ang binibigay ko Ang akin, they've shown that by the delay in the flood control hearings, the weird procedures with regard to yung mga finding of probable cause at the lower house. So, hawak na nila. Pero yung Senate, hindi pa nila ma-spelling kung paano gugurguran. So, ayun. I think mas takot sila sa Senate ngayon.
I think our last bastion, the last bastion of democracy is the Senate. And I should commend the 13 heroes
Yes.
of the Senate, no, for standing their ground. And I hope and pray that they will continue to stand their ground so that, at least merong tumatayo para sa kapakanan ng taong bayan.
Tanong na rin natin kung pwede na natin, kung may kaso po ba kung interviewin namin si Senator Bato?
Yan ang problema kasi wala talaga akong way of contacting him eh.
Oo.
Yun nga ang
Pero ang legal opinion ko, walang kaso nga. Pero kung makakasuhan ka ba, palagay ko. Kasi yun na nga ang problema. Iba naman yung may legal kang academic kaso, yung from an academic perspective, sa kung kakasuhan ka. Diba? That's a political minsan, which is very sad, a very sad picture
Pero
of our
pwede rin
time.
namang mabaliktad. Just in case, halimbawa, hinuli si Bato or mali yung kinasuhan ka na wala ka naman dapat kaso, nag-decide ang korte na dapat dumaan
Maganda yan.
pwede naman natin silang kasuhan.
Yes.
Maganda yan.
Of course.
Maganda yan.
Yes. Oh.
Baka wala na si Bato nun dito.
Oh. But again, the decision of the Supreme Court, though much awaited, will not reverse everything in what's happening in the administration now. Para sa akin, it will just kind of temper the situation sa mga Duterte. Pero tutuloy pa rin sila.
Ito, question lang. What if, kunwari, nag-decide the Supreme Court regarding sa kay Bato? Ibig bang sabihin nun, same din yun kay PRRD? And is there effect sa ICC kung mag-decide ng Supreme Court?
Ito yung original petition natin, silang dalawa yung
Yes.
petitioner. Actually, there is a side story there eh. Yung pag-prepare ko noon bago kami pumunta sa Hong Kong, gawa na yun for Senator Bato only. Yung pagpunta natin sa Hong Kong, nakita talaga na may threat talaga doon na, meron na talagang warrant of arrest. The night before, nung nandun na kami sa airport, tumawag si Torre sa akin. Sabi ni General Torre, Torni, hindi mo makausapin si PRRD na samahan mo ako doon sa sa tube at ako na sa kanya sa warrant of arrest. Sabi ko naman sa kanya, grabe ka naman. Bigyan mo muna ako ng copy ng warrant of arrest. Ang talino-talino ng tao imposible naman maniwala na may warrant of arrest. Sige, bigyan kita ha. Mga 3 o'clock in the morning. So I called up ES, Miguel Dea. And I informed him about it na meron talagang warrant na morning pa lang alam na nila na may warrant at na-confirm yun nung tumawag na talaga si Torre sa akin. And then sabi ni ES sa akin, isali mo na, may petition ka na, di ba? Pero kay Senator Bato lang. Isali mo na, file mo na bukas kay PRRD din. So, ang ginawa ko, kung at that time, wala pang threat. Ang sa atin lang may warrant nga daw. So ang ginawa ko doon sa aking petition, names ko lang yung first page, second page at saka sa last page, di ba? Sa verification, kaya para hindi ko na baguhin. Kung baguhin ko yung wala na akong oras.
Urgent niya kasi, di ba?
Urgent masyado eh.
Kinukuha na.
So pagka dakip na niya, ang problema naman namin magpaperma ng verification. Di ba nakita mo yung verification? So kaya nga doon sa ating hater na kasama natin, paano natin ma-change yun into a petition for habeas corpus at that time na wala ka ng oras noon? Ang amin doon, makakuha talaga kami ng TRO. Yun nga. Everything is history. We had to file it right then and there. And I think at that time, certiorari was still likewise viable simply because of the fact that we were trying to, there was grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of the executive department to continually cooperate with the ICC even if we are no longer members thereof. So sa akin is, I did what I had to do given the circumstances at that time.
So, kung lumabas yun sa Supreme Court, may effect, wala na.
Yung at that time, kung na-issuean
Hindi,
sana
yung ngayon.
yung ngayon, ang effect niyan kung ma-issuehan tayo ng TRO, is
I-honor kaya ng ICC? Mga
Hindi. Yung
i-honor ng ICC.
Oo, yung resolution. Let's say, for example, ilalabas
we
ng
want
Supreme
them
Court.
to honor it.
Yes.
Pero syempre they will not. Unang-una, meron na silang decision on their jurisdiction. That was decided by the appeals chamber. Sinabi na nila na meron kaming jurisdiction. Hindi naman nila i-reverse yun dahil sa may maliit na bansa dyan na nag-decide na meron din silang jurisdiction.
Buti pa pala tayo, sumusunod sa kanila.
Sila hindi sila susunod
Eh
sa
yun na
atin.
nga ang masakit po. Kaya talagang alam nyo, yung mga hindi nakakaunawa kung gaano ka-dangerous itong nangyayari, this will determine the future of the Philippines. Walang nakakakita nun. Akala nila po parang normal politika lang
akala
to.
nila politika
Hindi po normal na politika to. Nananawagan na talaga ako pati dun sa mga nang babash sa amin. Okay lang, bash nyo kami. Pero wag nyo pong ipaglaban yung gustong gawin ng administrasyon ngayon. Masisira tayong lahat.
But I would like to offer another perspective to it, sa opinion ng aking kaibigan. There may be a possibility that if the Supreme Court will decide in our favor, meaning main decision, the ICC may respect it.
Talaga?
Yes.
Well,
Why? Because under Article
kakampihan mo
59,
yan.
Section 1, the procedure insofar as arrest is concerned, they know that it should be in accordance with the national law, the law of the state. Okay? Proof. El Masri na SIM case, yung nasabi ko sa iyo. Oh. Pag-determine ng Italy na hindi nila sinunod yung rights ni El Masri, pinakawalan sila. You know what ICC did? It only required Italy to explain, why did you not follow our warrant of arrest? And Italy explained. Pag-explain ng Italy, tinanggap ng ICC.
Pero attorney, that's, yung kaso kay Bato.
Oo, yung kay Bato.
Pero
Oo.
kay PRRD wala na.
Hindi, possibly
Hindi,
din.
sinasabi niya posible.
Posibly that ICC may respect our national law if we assert it for Bato. Ang sa atin, pero yung kay PRRD kasi nandoon na sila.
Yun ang difference.
Ayun ang difference. Yun yung
sinasabi
ginamin
ko.
niya.
Yun ang
Hindi
sinasabi
nila
ko.
kasi sabi nila may jurisdiction. So, kung mangyayari yun na mag-issue ng TRO, we have a two situation. So far as PRRD is concerned, kasi nandun na siya, patuloy yun kasi may jurisdiction daw sila. Pero kung dito, the Supreme Court will rule in our favor, it is probable that the ICC will also respect it. Ganun ba? Wala naman kami.
As regards Bato.
As regards Bato. Kasi wala naman sila enforcement mechanism.
Ang tanong niyo kasi kanina, yung kay PRRD.
Yung kay PRRD.
At yung sinasabi ko, mahirap kasi hawak na nila yung si PRRD. Magiging
Nandun
Bato
na
pa.
kasi si PRRD.
Paano kung natangay na rin si Bato?
Wala
Tapos
na,
wala
wala
na
na.
rin. Same scenario.
That is the irreparable injury that we're seeking to prevent.
Yes.
Kaya nga kaya namin sinasabi po dun sa TRO, yun yung irreparable na injury. Kasi irreparable siya. Hindi mo mare-repair. Nandun na, wala ng legal recourse to bring him back.
Tapos gagamitin na nila yun lagi.
Ang problema dito, kung mag-release or maglabas ng desisyon ng Supreme Court in favor sa petition nyo, i-honor ba ng ating mga otoridad? Yun ang malaking tanong.
Oo, alam mo, we have always talked about the enviable law sa Amerika, yung US Hague Invasion Act, di ba? I've talked about that before. Kasi yung Hague Invasion Act, meron pong batas sa US na kapag may illegally na, shorten ko lang, pag may illegally na kinuha ang ICC sa kanila, pwede nilang i-invade ang Hague para kunin ang kanilang citizen. Di ba usually para ka mag-invade or you need an act of Congress. Ito hindi na. Na-delegate na. Matik na. Kapag may kinuha ang ICC, illegally, we have the right to invade. And remember, the US is not a state party to the Rome Statute. Di ba? So ako, I proposed that to Senator Robin Padilla and he is eagerly crafting the law dun sa Hague Invasion Act ng Pilipinas.
And there is a very recent development in the visit of Trump in China. Trump agreed with China and will talk to Russia that they will fight ICC insofar as prosecution and taking jurisdiction over war crimes. So that may be a very good, development for us, if that will continue.
Antay muna siguro nila maging presidente si BP Sara, tapos padala natin sila lahat dun. Anyway, dito na tayo. Malapit tayo nagtatapos. So, bigyan natin ng mga message sila bago sa ating mga kababayan.
Bago sila, meron lang akong babatiin, nagpapabati kasi ito lagi nanonood sa atin. Cedric Bolo. Shoutout sa'yo, Cedric Bolo. And sana mag-subscribe din kayo sa channel niya. Cedric Bolo sa YouTube.
Bago to ah.
Malakas sa kanya yung boss.
Magkano
Meron
kaya
akong
yun?
isang siguro isang tanong na lang kay, sa mga lawyers na kasama natin ng mga kapita-pitagan. So dito, sa TRO or sa tawag dyan yung nilabas ng Supreme Court lately, sa
denial.
inyong petisyon, yung denial, alin po ang delikado? Yung nilabas nilang denial o yung maling interpretasyon ng mga nagsasalita ngayon sa gobyerno?
Mas mabigat yung maling interpretasyon. Kasi parang sinasabi nila na pwede na raw i-implement yung warrant of arrest. Mali nga yun. Kasi wala tayong procedural mechanism dito. Ibasura na lang ba natin yung ating Bill of Rights na no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, and that no warrant of arrest shall issue except upon a probable cause to be determined personally by the judge. Oh, yun. Yan ang nasa konstitusyon natin eh. So yung maling-maling interpretasyon, ang sinasabi ko lang sa kanila, magdua kayo na hindi mangyayari sa inyo yan. Kasi kung mangyayari sa inyo yan, sigurado ako, maghanap din kayo ng mga abogado who will fight for your rights, and perhaps by that time, you will realize na yung sinasabi namin ay tama pala.
Sana mapadala silang lahat. Biro lang. Pero alam mo, napakaganda ng pinaglalaban nila. Hindi lang yung politika. Diba? Talagang pinaglalaban nila yung bayan. Talagang dangerous yung mangyayari kung sakasakali. Nahayaan na lang natin to. So, kayo, ano pong mensahe nyo sa mga kababayan natin bago tayo magtapos? Para naman na mas maintindihan pa nila. Kasi ngayon, grabe information ngayon. Iba-iba. Iba-iba na nga sinasabi ng gobyerno. Iba-iba pa interpretasyon. So, para ho sa inyo, ano ho masasabi nyo sa ating kababayan?
Alam nyo, yaman din lamang at narito tayo sa SMNI. Magko-quote na lang ako ng John 18:36. No? Sabi, my kingdom is not of this world. Ang ibig sabihin po niyan, sabi ng maraming dalubhasa, ay kahit ano po ang gawin natin, hindi naman po natin maaatim at mararating ang kumpletong hustisya, kumpletong kapayapaan. Kasi nga, hindi naman dito ang magiging bagong Jerusalem eh. And because of that fact, because of that scriptural belief, ibig sabihin po, hindi natin pwedeng intayin na marating yung gusto nating level ng hustisya o ng kaayusan bago tayo umayos sa isa't isa. Kaya po maraming nagalit sa akin. May mga sumuporta pero marami nagalit kung bakit masyado daw akong sumusubok maging malumanay kahit doon sa mga basher at mga interviewer na ano daw, hindi daw kami ginagalang. Kasi po para sa akin, change must begin with us, no? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin yan sa kapitbahay mo. So kung tayo po ay matutong mag-usap ng malumanay, palagay ko po kahit na my kingdom is not of this world, mararating po natin kahit papano ang tolerable na living conditions that will be healthy for our souls. Ma-enjoy naman natin ang buhay natin ulit. Kasi po for the past few years, sa tanong nga ni Banat Bay, halos hindi ko na ma-enjoy yung buhay ko. Until I learned that I should let go of all the toxicity and that change will begin with me.
May magagalit kay Attorney Jimmy.
Oh,
Gumamit ng Bible quote. Ayaw ni ni Ante. Ayaw ni Ante niyan. Oo. Ayaw
Para nasusunog siya, no?
Oo,
Pagka
sabi niya.
nakakarinig ng quote. Pero ito, bago pala tayo kay Attorney Torreon, meron ka bang kanta na ide-dedicate kay Ses Trilon? Halimbawa lang. Hindi. Siyempre bago tayo matapos, kailangan may isa kang kanta na para sa kanya. Kasi yan ang...
Stress bigla.
Baka kantay mo yung Let Me Be The One, brother.
Let me be the one to issue the warrant.
Wala yung let me be the one kasi, iwag na yung chorus kasi gas-gas na eh.
sige.
Yung first line na lang.
Sige.
Di ba? Somebody told me you were leaving. Bakit hindi ngayon? Ba't hindi siya ngayon umalis?
She's gone, she's gone.
Somebody tell me
Ikaw ba, Atty, meron ka i-dedicate na sayaw?
Hindi, teka, sandali lang. Bago magtapos, ayoko magtapos doon. Ayoko pong mang-asari. Sa totoo lang, Auntie Claire, okay lang. Trabaho ka lang dyan at sana po yung madampian ka ng Holy Spirit.
Sayaw na si Atty.
Hindi po, totoo yun, totoo yun.
Tony, ikaw na.
Well, ako, ulitin ko lang para maintindihan ng ating meron kasing term na Leviathan, parang monster yan siya eh. Yung mga maraming ulo,
Maraming
ginagamit
ulo,
ko, maraming ulo. Katulad niya ng gobyerno. Parang maraming ulo, powerful masyado, no? And yung isang tao, ito si Senator Bato, no? Etong maraming ulo, powerful masyado, kukunin talaga si Senator Bato. So, all the full panoply of powers of government are, marshaled against a single individual. Pero may shield yan eh. Yung shield niyan ay yung Bill of Rights ng 1987 Constitution. Purposibly nilagay yan sa 1987 Constitution para po maprotektahan. Ang purpose niyan, noong nilagay natin yan, kasi yung Marcos dictatorship noon, ginamit talaga yung presidential powers, yung dictatorship, para panghimasukan yung ating karapatang pangtao. It has taken another form now. And via an excuse. And the excuse is the ICC warrant of arrest. No? So ang sa amin is, itong excuse ay dapat idaan din dito sa ating shield. Kasi this does not differentiate whether the threat comes from internally or via a foreign entity. The foreign entity is simply being used as an excuse by the administration in order to attack the Bill of Rights. Kaya nga po, sana maintindihan ng ating mga sa kabilang kampo that what we are doing is not only for Senator Bato de la Rosa. For all you know, this may happen to other Filipinos, other individuals, and 9 other respondents now before the ICC. And if this will happen to them, they are likewise Filipinos, and they should be accorded the respect of their own human rights. However grave, paski na masyado malaki at karumal-dumal yung mga akusasyon against them, they are also entitled to presumption of innocence. And that is sacrosanct. Napaka-importante po yan, napaka-sacred po yan, huwag po nating kalimutan. Kaya mga kababayan, tulungan po ninyo kami, tulungan po natin si Senator Bato de la Rosa, magdua tayo kay Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na sana maintindihan na itong mga nangyayari sa ating bansa ngayon ay hindi po ito kanais-nais. And maybe we require the intervention of the great Lord Almighty, the great architect of the universe, to help us. Because indeed, we really need His help. And join us in our cause. And what is our cause? The protection of the right of each and every Filipino. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Attorney, may nakalimutan ka.
Yes, sir.
Oo, kasi palagi ka masyado kang busy, nakalimutan mo. Follow up lang natin. Meron kang hinamon nung nakaraan
Ano, sir?
na gagamitin nila yung dila nila sa
maganda
paglinis
yan.
ng
Oo nga.
ng hangar.
Oo nga.
Mayroon
oo.
na bang balita doon? May
Wala eh, masyadong
Wala pa rin.
silent eh. Masyadong
Nabakla,
silent.
nabakla.
Oo nga eh, walang answer dun sa ating hamon. Sana sir, lumampas na po yung period. Pero we'll give you a fresh period of 3 days. 3 days. Kaya para i-prove po ninyo na yung mga eroplano at what you call this, mga helicopters ng KOJC, no? Ng KOJC ay kay PRRD. Pag ma-prove mo yan,
Ano ba yan?
no? Pipirma po ang KOJC ng dokumento na sa iyo na po yan, sir. Pero kung hindi, kailangan mo dilaan ang lahat ng eroplanong nandun, yung tukador doon, saka yung mga lahat ng mga
CR pa yun, may
ceiling.
CR.
Saka yung CR.
Ang maganda niyan, may pang-serve na siya ng warrant. Gamit niya aeroplano.
Yun.
Gamit niya helicopter.
Oo, maganda.
Oo.
Marami kang makikidnap.
Oo.
Maano.
Sana, you will answer, sir.
Ayun. Sige.
maraming salamat mga banatero sa inyong panonood at syempre sa ating mga kapitapitagan na mga legal counsel ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. Maraming salamat po sa inyong napakatalinong paliwanag. Parang feeling ko si Sir Jack Argota, abogado na siya. Baka sa barangay hall ninyo,
Panay nga
abogado
punas
ka
ng dumudugo yung utak eh.
Ay, ang galing. Parang ako
Naintindihan natin, no?
School. Parang kung nakikinig ka.
Anong school?
Law.
Law school.
Parang kung nakikinig ka na alam mo yung pag-graduate na ako, magiging lawyer na ako, yung final ano na.
Oo, pwede ka na bar exam bukas sa
Pero
sa
may alam na ako eh. Alam ko lang habemos papam ba yan?
Kaya ka? Habeas corpus. Recess. Wala na habeas corpus.
Habemos papam eh.
Isa papa.
Ay, 98.51. Ang galing, no? 98.51.
Meron ka bang kanta para sa kanila?
FAB
Meron ako
98.2
kanta
na.
na Tony Jimmy Mondok.
Ano yan? Thank you.
Wala.
Dito po, nagtatapos.
Basta yun lang. Ganyan yun, maraming salamat sa magmamahal kay Senator Bato,
Salamat din po.
kay Senator Yara. Sana,
Salamat po.
alam ko, magbabago na yung administrasyon. Sana, magkaroon kayo na magandang posisyon. Alam ko naman, hindi kayo naghaharap nun, pero
Senador.
Tao na magbibigay sa
Alam mo,
inyo.
kailangan natin ng magagaling na mga senador eh.
Oo, ang galing na yung
Ang galing na yung mga walang silbi.
Oo, yung
Dapat
sa
mga
talas.
ganito. Dapat
Pwedeng
mga...
DOJ at saka no?
Yun, no?
Ayun, no?
Hindi, kailangan magaling talaga yung magbabalangkas ng batas eh.
Dapat abogado
Oo,
talaga.
Ano ako, magaling nung nagbibigkas ng batas. Spokesperson.
Ay!
I love you.
Pwede ah.
Eh, subtitle naman, di ba? Subtitle naman.
O, ganito. Ikaw ang spokesperson niya, ako si Lito Lapid.
Ayun.
Ayun, para marinig ko, no?
Senator pa ba yun? O na-impeach?
Gulat na
Pero
ako
mabait
eh.
naman yan. Lumalapit pa sa amin.
Mabait.
Oh, nako po. Maraming salamat po muli at dito nagtatapos ang episode ngayong araw ng Vox Populi, ang programang daluyan ng tunay na boses ng bayan. Abangan ang susunod na episode sa susunod na Sabado alas 6 hanggang alas 8 ng gabi dito lang sa SMNI.
Vox Populi, ang boses ng bayan.
Sa bawat sulok ng bansa, may kwento, may boses na nais marinig.
Ito ang programang nagbibigay daan sa mga tinig na madalas ay hindi naririnig.
Sa bawat usapan, sa bawat opinyon, ang kapangyarihan ay nasa kamay ng mamamayan. Sa panahon ng ingay at kalituhan, may mga tinig na kailangang pakinggan.
Ang espasyo ng bayan, ang entabladong walang kinakatakutan.
Vox Populi, ang boses ng bayan.